G'day guys, Caleb from Happy Go Travel. Today we're in the garage again, playing with the Patrol. This time we're up to bash plates. So we're gonna put some protection gear on the big girl. My opinion on any new four-wheel drive, there's three things you need before you hit the dirt. Bash plates, rock sliders, decent tyres. So we've got the tyres, we're waiting for the rock sliders, and the bash plates are here, so we'll square the bash plates away today. Now, there wouldn't be too many people that own a Y62 and haven't heard of this company. Dash Offroad, David Dash, the pioneer of Y62 Patrols. So we're no different. We wouldn't buy a Y62 and not throw the best gear on it. So this is why we have the Dash bash plates. Or as I like to call them, the Dash plates. So this is actually the first time I've looked under this thing. I am very disappointed with what I'm seeing. So you got this tiny little thin bash plate as you would expect. And that's not uncommon to have like a 1mm pressed plate from the factory. The thing that disappoints me is I did not realise that the sump, the diff and everything was exposed. Most other cars from the factory would have a second plate at minimum covering the sump and the front diff. So yeah, Nissan, pick your game up. That is shit. The positive though, at least it's easy to get the factory plates off because there's none here. So you've got a couple of bolts, they'll be about a 12 or a 13, something like that. I honestly cannot believe that excuse for a bash plate is the only plate under this car. Like, as a four-wheel drive. People use them as four-wheel drives. Like, that is ludicrous. You can see the difference in protection, right? Got radiator, sump, transfer. So I better actually have a look under this thing and see what I'm protecting. Yeah, that was the right order. There's a heap of nutserts with it, so I hate nutserts. Actually, oh no, that's all right. I was gonna say, I've got, oh. I'm learning a lot under here today. I'm enjoying how clean this is too. This is another reason why I haven't actually gone off-road yet. I've got to crawl under this thing and put sliders on it, the exhaust is coming, I've got a heap of things that are going under it. So I'm actually enjoying not having crap fall in my face. Like, this is a first for me. I just want to show you, this thing is bloody vulnerable. That's the sump, man. Like, that's, the sump hangs down below the crossmember. That's crazy, right? If you hit that sump off-road, that's it, game over. So that's, yeah, that I find that mad. So the front plate, that'll bolt onto the front, that's straightforward, factory bolts. The second plate will use, obviously, the back holes of the front plate. The riv nuts will go into this crossmember, which means this will take nutserts through here. Nutserts suck, but obviously they're there for a reason. Which means this plate and the second plate will bolt together, and that bracket goes down the back here, hopefully. So that should be all pretty straightforward. Should be. We'll see how this goes. Now, I will point out, I am most definitely not a mechanic. I couldn't be any further from a mechanic if I tried. Am I on dodgy blocks of wood? Yes, I am. Should you do that? Probably not. At the end of the day, make your own decision, be safe about it. Yeah, this is telling us nothing we don't already know, but... So, I can't get it to focus, but about a mil. What are we looking at? About 3. So yeah, chalk and cheese, covers nothing, covers everything. One thing I'll quickly discuss, right? All the folds, every one of these folds, all these little recesses through here, that's what makes these things strong. Obviously the amount of surface area it covers is a big thing as well. One thing I will say these guys have done really well also, there's service points. So you can get to the filters, that's cool. Most people don't normally do that. So the assumption would be that'll be oil drain, that'll be oil filter. And the fact there's holes everywhere that you would end up with dirt, grime and mud build up and shit, there's holes for everything to drain out and come off them. when I see nutserts in the kit, I decided stuff it. I'll just go down to the tool shop, buy a nutsert gun. They're cheap. They're like 80 bucks. For the sake of stuff around with a bolt and a nut and 4 nutserts, I figured 80 bucks, who cares, let's just buy one. Just sorted out the bolts a little bit. Don't know if I'm going to start at the front or the back yet. It's funny because you always put so much effort into protecting these things and not scratching paint off them when you first put them on, but that's the whole purpose of them, is to take hits and get dents, etc. But anyway, plastic bags that they come in, perfect, because you can slide them around, so just leave them on the bags and that way you can slide them in and out and it'll make life a little bit easier. Just use the factory bolts, loosely fit this center plate. What I decided I'm going to do, I'll get rid of all these riv nuts and all that crap. We'll deal with that first, because that'll be what sucks with this. So the reason I loosely fit that is so I can work out what holes these riv nuts need to go in. It's not a hard job, it's just an awkward job. Now, these little spaces, this is what we put the riv nuts in for. So the riv nut will go in, that'll screw in, and then what that does, that sump's a bit hot, is that'll protrude down past the cross member, and it'll give something for the bash plate to actually bolt into. So as you can see, there's that lip on the cross member, so we can't actually bolt the plate straight to the cross member. So we get these riv nuts in and then we'll go from there. That's the nutsert tool set up, ready to go. Let's get all these stainless inserts and then just screw them in. Oh, you know what I've done? I've got it upside down. One moment. That makes more sense. Just show you, that's the nutsert on the plate. The way this is going to work is when you tighten it up, that'll pull down. This plate will sit over that hole and that'll lock it into place. So we will just be very gentle with this, because we don't want to, now I've put the nutsert completely in there, I don't want to lose it. Right, loosely fit so we can still slide it around. We'll get this other bash plate up and then we'll put some bolts in that. Put some bolts in through the back of this. Now, because these plates are big and awkward, what I did is I just put a couple of loose zip ties on that back bracket just to hold this big plate, so then I can position it, get it under this plate. These nutserts that move around, or captive nuts that you've got to put in place that move around. We might actually get the floor jack and then we'll jack them up, and then hopefully we can line them up gently and then get the bolts in. Now, there is 4 bolt holes, but only 2 line up, and I checked that on both plates. I will double check it once we get them up there again, but for me, I'm only going to use the 2 bolts because I don't want to drill any holes into the main cross member. It's not a good idea to be drilling into your chassis anyway. So we'll see how it looks, we'll see how it holds on, and we'll make a decision from there. Okay, so floor jack's helping me, balancing them up there now, line them up and see if we can get some bolts in them. And again, we're just going to loosely fit these too. Bash plates are a bit of a puzzle, so you don't want to do anything tight and it straight away. Oh, definitely in. Definitely lines up with nothing. Definitely lines up with nothing. Right, let's go on the other side. Well, that's the worst of it done. Then we'll go back through and work out what bolts should be where. Let's get a little bit of flex in it. But we'll see how it goes once you tighten it up too. Okay, so I did reposition the trolley jack, and the reason I did that, so I undo that bolt, then I'll sit the plate up and I'll screw it on, and the jack will hold it up out of my face, so it won't smack me in the head. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got a little alignment issue. So instead of getting angry and forcing it, I'm just going to use a little ratchet strap, and I'm just going to pry it forward gently and get it to align. Alrighty, so all on, every bolt's in. Had a little bit of dramas with that front plate, but that was just the alignment. More than likely the way I put them nutserts in is what caused that. But anyway, now we just go through, bolt them all up, make sure they're tight so they don't fall off. Only a tiny little filter up there. Anyway, last things last, we get this service door on. There you go, protected. That is a bloody massive difference. At the end of the day, we've probably got about 80% more coverage, if not a higher percentage. Really, it was a relatively easy job to do. A few little alignment issues, a couple of bolt holes out the back which don't exist. I can't believe how exposed it was under there. If you have a Y62 and you are intending on going off-road, if nothing else, at least get a sump plate for it. It's just madness. That'll stop you in tracks. Overall, the dash plates, the design of them seems good. It covers a lot of area. All the vital components, it's all covered all the way to the back. But yeah, I'm sure most people with the Y62 have seen David Dash's bash plates. If you haven't, check them out. I'll put a link on the description. As always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so feel free to comment in below. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And of course, until next time, go travel.